The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
Welcome to the Tim Heale Podcast and Ordinary People's Extraordinary Stories. Got a great guest for you today. So without too much further ado, let's bring her in. Welcome, Rocky.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you very much. Looking forward to our chat, obviously.
Same here.
So Rocky, can you tell me where you were born? Not necessarily when you were born, because you're a lady. If you can describe to me what it was like, where you grew up, the schools you went to, and the education that you received. So it's all yours.
Thanks. So I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, in the States. And my mom had me when she was 15 and my dad was 16. And then they got married. And then they decided that they wanted to live in San Diego after they graduated high school. And so I was pretty much raised since I was 3 to about 13 in San Diego. And then my parents decided to have 3 other girls. So I had a household of 4 girls, and my dad was the only male. And then my dad lost his job, and he decided that it was best that we move to New England. So we moved to Worcester, Massachusetts when I was a teenager. And from there, we were in public education pretty much until I was in 6th grade. And then my parents decided that it was best that we were homeschooled. And then I was homeschooled living in Massachusetts from 7th grade to 11th grade. And that's when my mom decided, I don't think I can teach sciences as well as public school can. So she decided to put me back in school in 11th grade. And I went to a very small high school that had like 70 people in my graduating class. And I graduated from there after being homeschooled for 5 years. So that was an adjustment for me socially, because all these kids had been together pretty much their whole life. And then I was thrown back into public school. But it was good for me because it helped me overcome some fears of being the odd man out. And I definitely put myself out there in high school to make sure that I didn't feel odd. So I played a lot of sports and did a lot of clubs, and felt like I actually fit in once I graduated, even though it was 2 years. From there, I decided I didn't want to go to college.
Wow. So
yeah.
So we raced on a little bit.
Sorry.
So let's drag you back a little bit. Let's have a look at you started out in San Diego, I guess. That's where you started to go to school. So at that time, were you going to public school?
Yes. So I attended public school from kindergarten all the way to 6th grade.
Okay. So what was the school like?
Oh, school was excellent in San Diego. It was year round, so I don't know how it is over there, but you go to school for 3 months and then you have a month off. And the weather in San Diego is awesome. It's 75 degrees every day.
Yeah.
So, we were outside a lot. We had recess outside and we ate outside. And but, moving over to Massachusetts, it was a little different. So
yeah, one side of the country to the other.
Exactly.
So in San Diego, then what was your house like? What was the street you lived on?
I actually grew up kind of 4. So we lived in a trailer, and it was a nice trailer, though. It could fit, a family of 6. And I didn't know any different because I was just a kid. So we lived in a trailer park. So there was lots of other trailers, but that's how I grew up.
Ah.
Yeah.
So these trailer parks, then, I mean, I guess we call them like mobile homes.
Yes.
So
Yep. It was cool.
so did it have wheels on it, or was it just a fixed like porter cabin type affair?
Oh, it was stationed. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
not. No.
You couldn't hitch it up to the car and move trailer parks in.
No. I would have loved that though as a kid. That would have been fun, but no.
So the school then, how big was it? How many kids were in your first school?
Oh, it was big. Yeah, there was a lot of kids. I couldn't tell you the numbers, but I think there was like 5 to 6 grade-wise classrooms. So probably 30 kids in each class. So it was pretty big.
So quite a lot, and a lot of them, I guess, come from the trailer park as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, I was in more of a rural area in San Diego, so we had different, geographic or what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't just the trailer
Yeah,
park. There
yeah.
was
So you had another area close by with houses and all the rest of it,
yes,
with the
yes,
sort of the wide streets and paper boy
yeah, yeah,
riding down the street throwing papers left, right, and
yeah,
centre.
yes, yep. That was behind my trailer park. I remember that because I always
Yeah.
wanted that because I didn't really have much of a yard. So yeah.
Mm. So moving across to Massachusetts, then, I mean that's like one side of the country right across to the other.
Yes. Yes. It was.
Um, was it because your dad found work across the other side of the country, or what
I
was
think
what
he.
was
Oh, I'm sorry.
so what was the the reason for the move?
So he lost his job and he just, I think, wanted a fresh start. So my mom and him both talked about it, and he was actually from Massachusetts. He was born and raised here, and he moved there when he was a teenager to Phoenix, Arizona, and he always wanted to come back. And I think um, he just wanted to change. So there
Mm.
was no job. We moved in with my aunt and uncle actually when we first got here, and he just wanted a new change. So he
Mm.
did find a job, and we moved out of my aunt and uncle's house.
Got fed up with the weather in San Diego. Wanted more changeable weather, was it?
Yeah, no, I missed it. I was not a very happy kid moving from San Diego to. I did not. I don't like snow. I still don't like snow to this day, but
So you're not a skier then?
I'm a snowboarder. I'm not gonna lie. I started
Well,
snowboarding.
yeah. I mean, anybody can jump on a plank,
Yeah.
but it
True.
takes a real person to telemark ski.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a
Yeah.
telemark skier.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
so in Massachusetts, then, is that when you started your homeschooling, or did you get a school first and then decide to come back?
My parents did try the school. We lived in Worcester, Massachusetts, which it's a huge city. They didn't like this city schools. We did that for a year. I was in 6th grade, and in 7th grade, they decided to pull my sisters and myself out of school, and my mom homeschooled all 4 of us.
All right. So your mum's pretty clever then to be able to teach you.
She is. She's a
So,
saint. I don't even know how she did it.
so I guess each of you and your sisters had a different curriculum that you were working to, or were you all learning the same stuff, or how did that work?
Yeah, so they definitely, you can join like a program, and that's what we did. So she would get a book, we'd have different subjects, of course, like math, reading, language arts, or whatever. and we would have to work out of those booklets. She would check the work, and each of us are all in different grades. We're 3 years apart, so definitely a different age gap there. So yeah, it was interesting.
So was she fairly strict?
Yeah, yep.
So
She definitely was. Yeah.
were you allowed to have playtime? Did you go out
Yes.
into the yard playtime?
Yeah. Yes, she definitely made sure of that. And then we got involved with other homeschoolers. So then we would do groups, and like, let's say there was 2 other kids that were in the same grade I was, we would have, science, and we
Yeah,
would do the science project together or whatever. So my mom made sure of that, and so that we didn't get socially,
yeah,
what awkward.
disadvantaged.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
socially awkward
So
and that, yeah.
yeah,
So
last
you need
last
for
thing you
that.
want is is getting left behind and finding it difficult to socialise. So you had the
Exactly.
opportunity to socialise with other kids that were doing the same. What about kids that were going to normal schools? Did you associate with them at all?
Yes. So the kids on my street, and I was so envious because I so wanted to go back to school, because it is socially more advanced than homeschooling. I mean, I'm just with my siblings all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yes, I did play with a couple girls on my street, and they would tell me about, middle school and how fun it was, and interacting with even the opposite
Boys.
sex. Yeah, and all of that. So, and I definitely was very envious of that.
Brilliant. So moving on through school then, when did you actually go back to school?
In 11th grade. So
Okay, so that's
almost, I was a junior.
so junior high school.
Yep.
And how was that? And
Um, I'm
did
not
you
gonna
manage to
lie,
did you fit in, or did you find it a struggle?
it was a struggle at first. And I mean, like the first day, I'm sitting in the cafeteria and eating my lunch, and peanuts were getting thrown at me, and I was like, okay, this is how it's gonna be, because I was the weird kid, the homeschooler who decided to attend the last 2 years of high school. So yeah, it was definitely, but I just kind of plugged my way through, got into a lot of clubs, did sports, and made friends that way.
So what sports were you into?
I did field hockey and track.
All right, hockey's quite a violent game.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
girls hockey is a violent game. I can remember I can remember being at school and we had the opportunity to play the girls at hockey. We only did it the once.
Yeah, oh yeah. And protect your shins.
That-
Make sure you have those shin
yeah,
guards.
oh, they were
We know
brutal.
about that.
Yeah, so yeah, let's not dwell on hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely can be violent.
So did you have a good team? Did you play other schools and stuff like that?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
So
All
yeah. And what about track and field? What was your favourite sport? What was your favourite part of track and field?
was the dash. I think it was what the Ford. I haven't done it in like 20 years. Yeah, yeah. I have not ran track for a while. But it was one of the sprints, and I can't remember. Was it the
All right.
220? I can't remember. But yeah,
Okay.
I was a sprinter.
So
Yep.
was any subject that you hate doing at school?
Oh,
Was there
math.
anything you just didn't want to turn up for?
Math.
So so no
Math.
good with maths then. And what subjects did you want to get up for? You couldn't wait to get to school for. What was your best subject you enjoyed the most?
Definitely science, and I liked history a lot too.
All right. Which
Yeah.
period in history is your favourite?
Oh, good question. I definitely love World War II. It's always been a favorite of mine. So what, 1940s? Well, 1930s, 30s. That's when it started.
Yeah.
Um, but of course, the American Revolution is always good too. So, yep.
Independence Day. See,
Yeah.
I mean, if you hadn't have done that, you could have had a king like us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Instead, look what you've got.
Yeah. Yeah.
so, so, so you're coming towards your end of your high school. Then, did you have a high school prom? Did you have,
Yes.
did you have a nice date?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Did
Yep.
did
I went to
did?
prom twice because you can go in junior year and senior year.
All
So I
right.
got to do the whole prom experience.
And did you have a sort of courgette?
Yes.
Was it
Yes.
a big flower both times?
Yes. Yes. He did.
And did you have a tuxedo? Your date?
Yes.
Did it
Yep.
all proper then?
Exactly. Very
Happy
proper.
days. So what did you do after you graduated?
So I decided because I didn't have the extra funds, usually I don't know how it is over there, but in America, parents usually help out with college. I didn't have that. Like I said, my parents financially didn't have the means. So I decided to join the military. And right out of high school. I mean, I graduated in May, and then in June, I was going off to basic training. So
Oh,
yeah,
where did you do your basic?
down in San Antonio, Texas. Very
All right.
hot.
So it's quite a jump from Massachusetts down to Texas.
In the
And
middle
what
of
what
summer, it was
brilliant.
so hot.
San Antonio, Texas. Wow. So
Oh,
what was your training like?
um,
What service did you join?
Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was the training for Air Force? Dead easy,
Um,
I suppose.
it was I definitely woke up, became an adult, grew up a lot, because I was very sheltered too,
Hmm.
which I realized when I was there. And unlike other girls, I was very excited to be there because this was the first time I was on my own. Um, a lot of the girls that I was interacting with wanted to go home. I didn't. I was like, we're getting paid to do this. Like, this is awesome. Um, so I'm not gonna lie, it was still a struggle. There was days where I was just like, oh my gosh, am I gonna make it? So it was definitely intense. Probably one of the best times I was in shape. Um, it was like almost 70 days of brutal,
Yeah.
mind games.
But
Um,
because I think certainly from the British military, and I know a little bit about that, is
I
that
could see that.
the first sort of 6 week is they knock you down. They knock the stuffing out of you, and everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's getting picked on, and then and then you start to gel as a team, and then they start building you up again. And I guess the U.S. military is the same. They
Same.
use that same ethos. So by the time that you're passing out off the square, you're working as a cohesive team. So I guess that's the same for you guys.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Yep.
And
I
I mean, over here, when we finish training, we have a big passing out parade. Families come along and all the rest of it. Do you have the
Yeah.
same there, or is it just not practical because people are so far away?
No, we do the same thing. And I don't know how you felt about graduation, but I felt like that graduation was way more important than my high school graduation. You go to
Yeah,
school for 12 years and you think that's pretty important. No,
yeah.
my military, the 70 days that I went through basic training, I felt like I could conquer the world. So, yeah, I was just like, bring it on. Like, yeah.
Terrific. So you passed out, and what did you do after? Did you go and do specialist training for anything?
Yeah, so I became it's called security forces, and what our job is a cop. on an Air Force base and make sure,
Ah,
we
snowdrop, eh?
yeah, and we guard the planes. So that was
Yeah,
my job.
guard the barracks.
Yep.
Constantly stagging on.
Yes.
So, so how long was that sort of phase 2 training for?
Oh boy, that was almost 6 months.
Wow. So
Yep.
you had 70 days, a break, and then 6 months of learning how to be a cop. And
Yep.
then I guess the rest of it's sort of on the job training.
Yes.
So where was your first draft? Where was your first posting once you'd qualified as a copper?
So
A snowdrop.
I got stationed in Massachusetts. Um, yeah, I can't get away. So yeah, and it was about an hour and a half from my house. So that's where I was, and then the Iraqi war started. So
Which
then I
one?
got,
The last one?
yeah, the one that
Yeah,
just got over. Yep.
yeah. So I was involved with that. I was in Afghanistan when that was kicking off.
Wow.
So I missed the war fighting phase as it was, and I went there on the Telic 3 in 2004,
Okay.
and I was down in Basra. So so did you
Okay.
get to Iraq?
I did. Yep. I was in '06. So we got activated, of course, in '03, but
Yeah.
I didn't serve until 2006.
So whereabouts were you based in Iraq?
Baghdad.
Oh, Baghdad. I didn't like Baghdad.
Nope.
For some bizarre reason, somebody didn't like me in Baghdad, and they tried to kill me
Yep. Yeah,
twice.
that happens a lot.
Twice,
Yeah.
twice they tried to
Right.
kill me. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
and if that wasn't bad enough, when I got on the aircraft to leave Baghdad, there was a sandstorm blowing,
Oh,
and
they're the
and the
worst.
aircraft just managed to get off, and then they closed the airport. So
Wow.
if they
Yep.
hadn't, I'd have been stuck there for another week. Yeah,
Wow.
didn't enjoy Camp Victory, and I didn't enjoy the Green Zone. We were up there for a meeting basically, but
That's that's where I was dating. Well, Camp Sather, which is but BIOP. So, in what year was that? Was that 2004 for you?
2004. Yeah, we
Okay.
flew into Camp Victory. The guys we were working with were the PSYOPs operators, and they took us down into Baghdad. On the way into Baghdad, well, as we were going out the gate at Camp Victory, there was a couple of Humvees that pushed their way out in front of us because we were in pickup trucks.
Yep.
And halfway into the green zone, they got hit by an IED,
Yep.
and there was a couple of guys killed and stuff like that. And we got into the green zone, or got to the green zone, and we were held up outside waiting to get through security and all that because of what had just happened. Scary, really scary. And then later on that day when we got back to Camp Victory, we were staying in what used to, I think it was an old canteen, but it was a single building with a roof terrace on the top with one of these pot fires, and we were sat down having a few near beers, and a burst of about 20, 25, 5-0 went across our heads. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So I
it
can
was
see why you don't like the green zone.
a decisively unfriendly place, I thought.
Oh, yeah. No, it was not a friendly place at all.
But I haven't been back to Iraq, and I'd got no desire to go back there at all.
No.
Afghanistan, I loved. I did 3 tours of Afghan, and I loved it.
Wow.
So I did '06 and '09
Wow.
in Afghanistan, as well as being in Kabul in 2002.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I apologize if you hear that. My dog is not. She's
I'll shut
coughing.
mine out because he'll be up on my lap if I didn't.
Wow, that's amazing. No, I didn't go to Afghanistan, but which I would have loved to.
So how long were you in Iraq for?
I was in Iraq for 8 months. So,
All right. So
yep.
that's a slightly short tour because you guys normally do a year, don't you? Or the
So
Air
Air
Force
Force,
is different.
yeah, the Air Force is different. Army usually does a year to 14 months. And it depends on the Air Force, but it's usually 3 to 6 months. But we were extended because the team that was supposed to take over, um, for some reason didn't come. So we were there a little bit longer.
Hmm.
So we were not happy about that, but we all made it home. So my squad made it home. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's the
So
main thing.
yeah.
And I mean, did you pick up any injuries or anything there?
Not my squad, but there was definitely other
Yeah.
people in the Air Force that, yeah, didn't make it or had injuries.
So what happened when you returned from Iraq? Where did they post you then?
I was still stationed in Massachusetts, and then I decided that I wanted to go back to school, because the whole reason I joined is because I wanted that training, but I wanted
Yeah.
school to be paid for. So I went back to school, and then I got out actually. So uh,
So what did you learn in school then? What?
uh, I became a dental hygienist.
Oh, dental hygienist, eh?
Yes, yeah,
Ah, you like
yep.
looking in people's mouths and scraping away all day.
Exactly. Totally different than the military.
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because you do things different over there, you have private practices.
Yes.
People have to have insurance and all the rest of it
Yes.
to get it. Whereas we have a national insurance. Mind you, trying to get a national insurance, a national health dentist is a nightmare over here at the moment. But there you
Really.
go. Yeah. So is that what you're doing now?
So yes, I do that, and I went back to school again and became a nutritionist.
Ah,
And so I do both of those things.
because the
Um,
two go in hand, don't they?
yes.
Having decent nutrition keeps your
Yes.
teeth healthy.
Yes.
So
But over Western medicine doesn't put those two hand in hand. They separate those two.
yeah.
So my goal in life is to make sure that people understand those two, like you're saying, go hand in hand.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of patients and clients are starting to correlate that. So,
So from that point of view, I mean, I guess the military paid for your education then.
they did for some of it, but I keep going back to school.
So do you have to pay every time you go back to school then?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
it full time back at school, or you're working and doing sort of evening classes, that sort of thing?
I'm not in school anymore. I graduated in 2021. So I haven't been in school in a little bit, which is unusual for me. But now I'm just working full time.
Okay, as a hygienist nutritionist,
Both. Yep.
is it in the same practice? Or
No, no. Like I said, those two things are separate. So I own my own business as a nutritionist, and then I go into private practice a couple times a week.
wow, so you only work a couple of days a week as a hygienist.
Yes.
You'd have thought that would be like a full on full time job, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. It definitely is. Yeah.
And you managed to just do it part time.
Yes. Because then my nutritional business covers the other half. So yeah.
So how does your business work then?
So how do I get clients, or
Yeah, yeah,
how do they go through my program?
yep, all of that.
Um,
How does that work?
so getting clients right now has been word of mouth. So, I definitely plug myself into certain groups that I know that will need my services. And that's how I've gotten my clients in the past. I'm starting to do more with social media, like, you know, getting on Instagram or Facebook and that kind of stuff. I'm still very new at it. It's not my favorite thing. I would rather have a personal conversation with somebody than just post something.
Yeah.
And then once I do have a client, they go through my 12-week program. And it's literally foundational work on
Yeah.
why nutrition is so important for your
Yeah.
health, for your body, but also for your teeth.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, how did lockdown treat you? I mean, what? I guess before lockdown, you were going into surgery and cleaning teeth every day, and with your nutrition business, you were seeing people one to one, or was it all online to start with?
Well, that's when I went back to school when lockdown. I was just like, I don't know if I want to clean people's teeth, with whatever this is going around, having no idea what it was. Um, and I knew that I have 3 children of my own, and I knew that I didn't want to do this full time, because the hours are not sufficient for kids in school. I want to get my kids off and on the bus, and working a 9 to 5, you don't do that. So I started to study when we got locked down, and I was out of a job for almost 5 months because you can't. In the States, they shut they shut
They did
all.
here. I mean, unless you had COVID, you couldn't even get into an hospital,
Exactly.
and the dentist shut down. Everything shut down. So it was crazy. It was just
It
a
was
crazy
crazy.
time. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's when I decided that I need to go back to school. Got my certificate in nutrition, and then from there, things started lightening up, and I did go back as a hygienist, but part time, and then I started my nutrition business.
So how do you see your clients? Do you see them face to face, or do you do it over the internet?
All over the internet.
All online.
Yeah,
All
all,
online. I mean, that's probably one of the only positives that you can take out of the lockdown is that you can reach a far bigger audience nowadays by remote, doing it
yes,
online.
yes.
I mean, you're over in the States, I'm in England, and we're having a fantastic conversation.
Exactly, exactly. It's amazing what we can do nowadays. Yep.
So what's the future hold then? What are you looking to do for the future?
I'm looking to get out of modern day dentistry, and be full time nutrition. But my long term goal is to get into colleges and get a curriculum going with dental hygienists throughout the country, to really focus on nutrition more than just the mechanics of scraping somebody's teeth.
Yeah,
Um, they put a lot of emphasis on that, but what we need to do is really focus on the body, because the body is a miraculous thing. And if you take care of it, it'll take care of you.
yeah.
So that is my long term goal.
Okay. So are you looking at taking your course into a college to teach there,
Yes,
and also do it online?
yes,
And have you got like a webinar set of programs to put out? So
yes,
so you've got a course that you can do as a webinar, so you get more people involved.
exactly. Yes. In like a group setting. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen StreamYard and their on-air webinar?
No.
Oh, it might be worth having a look at that.
Yes. I will definitely take a look.
Might be worth having a look at StreamYard.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
I would appreciate that. Yes. No, I've never. Definitely.
So, do you have a book out or anything like that? How can people get hold of you? How can people sign up to do your course?
So they can find me on the web. I have a website, and it's just toothgut.com. And then they can sign up for a free discovery call with me. So it's one-on-one, and we go over your health journey. I've gone over everything from, tooth problems to, IBS to gut related issues. And we go from there. And it's a holistic way. It's not just focusing on, a diet.
Yeah.
This a lifestyle.
Yeah. Because you are what you eat, so they tell me.
Yes. And I'm going to piggyback on that. You are what you digest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you can digest it, then you can eat it. If you can't digest it, you shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah, there's a few things that don't digest particularly well.
And that's good that you're aware of that. Most people aren't. So.
Well, Rocky, thank you so much for enlightening me.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
No, it's been a lovely chat. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you want to hang about, we'll have a quick wash up. Wow, what a terrific guest. There you go. If you want to know a little bit more, have a look at the description, follow the links, and maybe you can have a chat with Rocky and see what she can do for you. So until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.